Hello. So we're going to be starting here in just about a minute or two. It's about a minute or two past the hour. And okay, let's see. Give me a second. Be starting in just a quick second. Okay. So in just a minute, we'll be starting with our info Q&A. How are you doing, Theresa? Okay. So welcome, my friends and gems, to this stem cell activation patch question and answer session. We're going to start off with, I'm going to do a screen share with you guys, and here we go. Let me make sure. Oh, here we go. It's not showing up on my screen share. Let me move over again, see if I can get it to pull up. Oh, yes, here we go. Oh, here it is. All righty. So let's start off with our disclaimer here about the stem cell activation patches. These patches are not intended to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. We do not cure, heal, treat, or diagnose. The suggestions do not replace the diagnosis and treatment by a qualified licensed healthcare professional, your doctor. We strongly recommend you consult with your doctor concerning your specific health challenge and treatment needed. No medical claims are being made with the suggestions here. All righty. So let's get started. And here we have a list of the different types of benefits that you will experience as a direct result of being on the stem cell activation patches. All righty. So this is actually a picture of actual stem cells taken with an electron microscope that I took from a research paper. And as some of you may or may not be aware, your stem cells are pluripotent. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably make this image a little bit bigger so that people who are watching this on their cell phones are able to actually take note of the difference here. But our stem cells are pluripotent, which means that your stem cells can morph and change and transform into whatever kind of cell your body needs at that moment in time. So when your stem cell recognizes that your heart needs a new cell and there's a damaged cell there, it'll create a heart cell from the stem cells. And the same thing would be true if it needs, like you see here in this diagram, we have cardiac, we have I believe one is fat here, the other one is a blood cell, etc. Stomach cell, here's a neuron on the left, a brain cell, and then a blood cell. So your stem cells are pluripotent, so they have the ability to morph and change into whatever type of stem cell that you might need. So as your stem cells are innately attracted to inflammation because it knows that wherever you have inflammation in the body is signaling to the stem cells that there are some damaged cells there. So your stem cells will automatically go to the areas of your body that have the most inflammation and go to repair whatever's in the greatest state of disrepair first. So you can think of your stem cells, and you can think of your body as kind of being your home for the energy, the personality, the spirit and soul that is known as you. Robin, I wanted to say hi to you. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're just getting started here. So we're just talking about, these are it's an actual picture of real stem cells. It's taken from an electron microscope. And we're talking about how these stem cells are actually pluripotent and have the ability to change depending on whatever type of stem cell cell replacement you need at that moment in time. So your stem cells will create a heart cell, a blood cell, a bone cell, an eye cell, a brain cell, whatever you need. And the stem cells are always attracted to inflammation in the body because that signals that there is some sort of damaged cells in that area. So when you look at the human body, I like to equate it to being like a house, because that's your temporary housing unit while you're walking, this side of the green, so to speak, for 80 to 100 years, however long you have in your body, right? And so you wouldn't dream of building a house starting with the roof or the walls. You have to start with a good solid foundation. So we start with the mother stem cell activation patch. That would be X39. And so that would be your foundation. And the stem cell activation patches, you can probably see from the camera that I'm wearing a stem cell activation patch right now on my chest. That's what they look like. They're the size of about a quarter. In the middle, you have a crystal lattice that is the organic nanotechnology that has been put together in a crystal lattice work. And that organic nanotechnology is made of organic salts, sugars, and amino acids. And they've been arranged in such a manner to create a geometrical pattern to mimic a diamond crystal, because diamonds, as you know, when you take a diamond and you reflect light on it, you see all the colors of the light spectrum reflecting back. And so this is going to mimic a diamond crystal. And the moment you put this on your skin, we are 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit infrared light. And if I were to wear night vision goggles, you would see that with night vision goggles, you would actually glow in the dark. I could see you in the dark. And that's because that heat is evidence of light that's inside your body, that's not contained just inside your body. It actually flows outside of your body, right? That's why we can feel the heat of another person standing next to us, right? And so now that you have that stem cell activation patch and you're wearing it, the moment it touches your skin, your infrared light bounces off of that patch, and that patch, that lattice, acts like a diamond crystal mirror, and it mirrors back directly into your bloodstream, and it's going to signal GHKCU copper peptide to turn on 33% of your stem cells that have been dormant, because by the time you're 30 years old, 50% of your stem cells turn off. And by the time you're 60 years old, almost 100% of your stem cells turn off. So what does that mean? If you look down here, and if you just think of your stem cells, we can equate them to a printer cartridge in a printer machine, copier machine. So when you have your stem cells are brand new, when your printer cartridge is brand new and your copier, right? You make a color copy. The colored copy is an identical replica. You cannot tell the difference between the original and the copy. Or if you take black and white copies, you can't tell the difference between the original or the copy. But when you've used 80 to 90% of that cartridge, now the colored copy is a faded copy of the original, and the black and white copy is a grayed out copy of the original. And the same thing is true with your stem cells. That's why we see people who are in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, they start to come down with irritable bowel syndrome, GERD, diabetes, MS, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, cancer. There's no end. It's an infinite list. Sometimes for some people, they have multiple things that are going on at the same time. So let's start with the mother stem cell activation patch. And that is the foundation to your house. And so we talk about your building block is your mother stem cell activation patch, and that's X39. And X39 is going to activate your stem cells. It'll turn on 33% of those stem cells, and it's going to repair cellular damage, restore collagen, rebuild scar tissue, reduce fine line and wrinkles, because your stem cells don't really recognize fine lines and wrinkles, but it does recognize the damage that is evidenced by fine lines and wrinkles. So it's going to go ahead and it's going to repair that, because in its book, it's damaged cell, damaged tissue. You're going to get increased energy, increased sexual libido, increased antioxidants, increased anti-aging, increased anti-inflammation, pain relief of anywhere from 50 to 100% pain relief within 3 to 4 minutes, improved sleep, and many people report improved hair growth and hair texture, even hair thickness. I'm one of those people where I had a bald spot from having been hit by a bus. I was hit from behind, and for almost 6 years, that was a shiny bald spot the size of my palm. And now I have about almost 4 inches of hair growth back there, which I'm very pleased and happy about. This particular stem cell activation patch, it's funny because David Schmidt, the scientist who actually originally created these stem cell patches, he fondly calls this X39, Sex 39, because it does set your body back to a younger, healthier state. And when you are younger and healthier, and your body is obviously in homeostasis, it's in balance, then of course, everything is moving and grooving, and it increases your sexual libido. So that's X39. The next one is your daughter stem cell activation patch. That is X49. So now when your infrared light bounces off of the X49 stem cell activation patch, it's going to signal in your blood AHKCU, which is a different type of copper peptide. And it's going to turn on again those stem cells, but it's going to protect you against radiation poisoning. So you'll have radiation poisoning relief. You're going to have increased lean muscle mass, increased bone density, muscle mass and strength, energy, focus, and your cardiovascular system is going to increase. You're going to be protected against 5G, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. It's going to use, if you have belly fat, it will use the belly fat first to have more energy to repair and restore these things that I just mentioned. And if you have osteoporosis, it will help with your osteoporosis, because it is increasing your bone density and your muscle mass and strength. A lot of athletes like wearing these two patches because it gives them increased energy. In fact, the Fantastic Five, back in 2014, the women's Stanford swim team actually used the Fantastic Five stem cell activation patches. And 3 weeks after the 8 women started on the stem cell activation patches, 6 of the 8 broke their personal records and actually went on to the Olympics. They actually qualified for the Olympics after that, just 3 weeks of being on these patches. Pretty incredible. So that's the daughter stem cell activation patch. So you can think of this as like the retaining wall of your house. Next, you're going to have glutathione, which is part of the Y-age system. And this Y-age is your master antioxidant detoxifier. We have glutathione, and every organ of the body, every muscle of the body has the detoxing master antioxidant glutathione. So now from your wearing this, you're going to have this detoxification. This powerful antioxidant also serves to increase your immunity. So it's an immune booster. It increases your antivirals. And within 24 hours of you wearing this patch, your glutathione levels will actually be 300 to as high as 600%. And we know that from the scientific studies, because it was actually measured in the independent research studies that was done on glutathione. This particular patch, the other thing that I should, if you weren't, let's say you weren't to wear the glutathione patch, just these two together, you would have a 30% increase in glutathione levels. Once you add the glutathione patch, now it can be as high as 600%. And all the research subjects, it was a minimum of 300% increase. You may or may not know that your liver does the master detoxifying for the body. That's like 85% of your detox. Your kidneys do about 15% of your detox. We detox through exhalation also perspiration, urination, and defecation. So sweat, pee, poop it out, and you're exhaling it out as well. Your skin, as you know, is your third kidney, right? So anything that is not serving the body, as the body is replacing that scar tissue, it's replacing cells that are damaged, it's going to come out through your skin, it's going to come out through perspiration, exhalation, urination, and defecation. It doesn't serve the body anymore, so it gets rid of it. Okay. It's important that you drink. I'm going to say this several times because people need to really be aware that you have to drink 50% of your body weight in fluid ounces, because when you're dehydrated, your cells are sticky. When they're sticky, that means that the new cells that are being sent by your stem cells to, let's say, your heart, they're not going to be able to get to your heart if you have sticky cells. So you have to be well hydrated so that the electrolytes, which are the light inside of the cell, can actually transmit to the next cell and move forward to where it needs to go. Okay. The next wall we've got is the Eon patch. And the Eon patch is your master anti-inflammatory patch. And this is also known as our anti-stress happy patch. It raises actinoplastins. It increases DHEA. It creates brain balancing between the left and the right hemisphere of your brain. It causes a calming effect, and it reduces the cortisol and C-reactive proteins and other conditions in the body. This patch is very, very important. The fact that it does the brain balancing while reducing inflammation head to toe in your body creates a very pleasant feeling effect of not only reducing your pain, but people legitimately feel happy because of that brain balancing calming effect that they have. When you have a fight or flight response from your adrenals and from your hippocampus, that is what signals that fight or flight response, you have an uptick in C-reactive proteins. Well, as soon as you have that brought into balance, people legitimately feel happier from wearing this patch. And so it's very common that I hear people reporting back to me after 3 to 4 weeks. They're like, wow, I'm legitimately happier. I haven't really changed much of anything other than now I'm wearing these patches. So that's very exciting to be aware of. Actinoplastins. Let's talk a little bit. I think I took the actinoplastins. Yeah, for some reason, I don't have the information. Actinoplastins are basically, I accidentally must have deleted this because I didn't intend to, but actinoplastins are found in the blood of healthy and normal people. And they're thought, the research shows that they think that the actinoplastins help reduce and mitigate different types of cancers. And it is a powerful agent inside your blood to help people who have inflammation and the different types of cancers. They think it also helps your immune system. Okay, so Eon. So now let's go on to carnosine. Carnosine is the next building block, the next wall, so to speak. So that's now your fifth patch, which makes up the Fantastic Five. Carnosine. I like to tell people to think of carnosine. It kind of reminds you of carnosine as carne. You have glutathione, Eon, and carnosine. Those are master antioxidants that are found in the body, and these patches are named after those antioxidants. So with carnosine, this supports healthy brain function, improves memory and processing time, strength, stamina, and endurance. It rhymes with carne, like carne asada, like Mexican meat tacos. So carne, that has to do with all things that are related to the heart, because the heart is an entire muscle, all the muscles of the body, your cardiovascular system, and what you may or may not be aware of, that if you have a good cardiovascular system, typically you will have good memory, you'll have clear brain, no brain fog, you will have focus, memory, good recall, and pretty good processing time. If you don't have a good cardiovascular system, the first thing that suffers is the brain, because obviously the blood flow can't get to the brain, which means that you have compromised cognitive function, of course. You're going to have a foggy brain, you're going to have lapses in memory and things of that type. So this carnosine patch increases your brain processing speed. It's amazing. You're going to notice that you're going to recall, remember learn and absorb things so much faster, probably between the second and third month that you're on the patch, is what I've noticed, not only for myself, but a lot of other people in my practice. So this is a fantastic patch because it also detoxes the brain from aluminum. And we don't think about it often, but how many of us have drunk a beer, juice, water even out of an aluminum can? How many of us have had toothpaste that was in an aluminum tube? How many of us have eaten leftovers from an aluminum container, or you have it wrapped all in aluminum? Or you went to maybe you had something catered at your home and the caterer brought that in aluminum trays, or you brought home the food in aluminum trays from whatever event you went to. So the food that's contacting that aluminum is actually picking up traces of aluminum, and now you're eating that. And unless your body is efficient at getting rid of that, we know that aluminum is a known neurotoxin. We've known this for at least 25 years. That being said, it wasn't until 2014 that Tom's toothpaste, because of the clamoring from their consumers who were buying Tom's toothpaste, they were going, how can you have organic toothpaste in an aluminum tube when we've known for over 25 years that this is a known neurocognitive, it's a neurotoxin. And so in 2014, it wasn't that long ago that Tom's changed their packaging and switched over to a recyclable plastic packaging, and many of the other toothpaste companies then followed suit as a direct result. So we are exposed to aluminum. You know, there's cans of food that are made of aluminum. There's people who work in environments where they create aluminum tubing for all sorts of different things in car manufacturing, gun manufacturing, the oil business. There's no limit to all the different types of exposure. Sometimes some of the water supply has aluminum. So the bottom line is that this patch is going to detox your brain from aluminum, which is going to increase your brain function, and it's going to overall help your well-being. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the Fantastic Five. We do have a patch that has to do with not just your skin, mental clarity, and having to do with the frontal lobes of the brain, which is in the front, that has to do with impulse control, cognitive function, and so forth, for people who are interested in either really rejuvenating their skin, or they want to, maybe they've had frontal lobe damage from maybe a traumatic brain injury, or they are interested in activating their pineal gland because they want to up their game in terms of their spiritual practice. This little patch here, we actually have research that shows, and we've actually measured it in brain scans, that it shows that your consciousness is actually expanded as a direct result of using this particular patch. It's a pretty cool patch. Helps you sleep better too, because it's an evening patch, and it helps increase and resets your melatonin levels, which that's directly tied with your circadian rhythm, and your circadian rhythm has to do with your sleep cycle. Melatonin is what puts you to sleep at night, and serotonin is what gets you up. And depending on whether you are looking at the sun first thing in the morning, or if you're watching the sunset at night, that will set within 4 to 6 hours of you having either exposure. It'll set your melatonin to kick on, or your serotonin to kick on, therefore balancing your circadian rhythms. Okay, so we also have this patch having to do with increasing digestive function, organ function, balancing your hormones and hypothalamus, etc. This is a great patch for if you have anything related, any neurological condition, or you have any kind of neuralgia, plantar fasciitis, anything involving the nerves. Like in my case, I got hit by a bus almost 6 years ago. So I had a traumatic brain injury. So I actually wear the SP6 because it helps regulate my autonomic nervous system. Anyone who's had things like Guillain-Barré, myasthenia gravis, Parkinson's, I mean, the list is endless. If it's a neurological disorder or syndrome like Guillain-Barré, you would benefit from wearing this patch along with the Fantastic Five that we first talked about. I'm not going to get into too much the Nirvana. We do have the Nirvana has to do like with people who are suffering from depression, which is a very real challenge for some people. But we also have one to boost your energy. And with certain protocols, we sometimes need to move energy in the body to get the cellular repair that you need. So we do have energy enhancer. It's also good for athletes. And we have Ice Wave, which doesn't fix anything. This repairs zero. However, it does provide pain relief. That being said, it's 70% more powerful than hospital grade morphine. I've had people who I routinely, I was at a networking meeting on last Wednesday, and the host of the meeting at the end, he said, gosh, I have a terrible headache. And I said, oh, let me patch you. I can get rid of your headache. Let's try. So I put an X39 on the back of his neck, on his brainstem, governing vessel 14. And then we put one under each earlobe, and presto, within 2-3 minutes, he's like, wow, I'll be darned. He goes, my headache's gone. So that's a great little patch, but it doesn't repair anything. The rest of the patches all repair something and reset and restore your body to a younger, healthier state. Still a great patch. The Alavita, we already talked about the skin patch. I wanted to share with you guys, we did have someone who recently had, I want to share, we have a group called Be Activating Community. And I'm just going to put in here and I'll share it with you so that you can actually see. We had someone who was suffering. This girl had so many, she had like 3 deaths all within the same week. And one was her best friend's son, who had a horrific, unimaginable way for someone to pass. And her friend was, you can only imagine. And so she's had a lot on her plate, to say the least, from the end of the summer till now. And so here I'm going to do a share screen with you guys so that you can see it. Let me see, here we go. So she posted in our group. And this was Gwendolyn. She said, I'm here to say 100%, beyond a shadow of a doubt, with no hesitation, to declare I feel 100% changed from Nirvana patch and supplement after the very first use. We have the Nirvana patch, but we also have the Nirvana patch and enhancer mood system. So that comes with a supplement that you take either every morning, every night, or both in the morning, both at night, and then you wear the patch as well. So she did the system as well as the Fantastic Five. So she says here, I feel 100% changed from the Nirvana patch and supplement after the very first use. First time. I couldn't pinpoint my reason for joy and, for the lack of a better word, legal euphoria last night. And then I realized it was day 1 on Nirvana and not even 12 hours in. I still felt in the middle of the night, although patch removed, and still feeling happy and joyous when I awoke at 7 a.m. No joke. I have a giddy and giggly feeling inside. I cannot describe other than it's who I used to be before life got in the way. Like my soul is singing. Will be interesting to see in a week what happens. That was Gwendolyn. So once you get started on the stem cell activation patches, you will have access to this community. Everyone on here is on the patches, and we have over 4,000 people who are actively on the patches. And so we have testimonials that are recorded every day at 6 p.m. California time. They're available throughout the world, because we're in 81 countries. You're able to get these patches in actually 81 countries. And so then you can go into this community, post whatever your questions are about whatever symptoms or diagnoses you may have, or whatever trauma or conditions, and you can look it up. Just as I looked this one up, in this particular case, I wanted to look up the Nirvana update. We could do that. You can look it up by whatever condition you might have. Okay. Robin, do you have any questions? Theresa, also, if you guys want to unmute yourselves, let me see if I can. Do you have any questions, Robin? Okay. So if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask whatever questions you might have.
Lillian.
Hi, Theresa.
Hi. I'm listening to you right as I'm getting ready for bed. But I don't have any questions. I just wanted to let you know that I was here, and more and more on their Nirvana, like that is worth its weight in gold, if more than it was weight in gold, because it's not very heavy. So it is. I had a very hard day and had to hospitalize a mental health patient today.
Mm.
And I cannot tell you, I'm like falling asleep so early because it was so exhausting. And this is keeping me from doing what I usually do, questioning myself and getting real codependent, and because it's keeping my mood up there in a healthy way. It's
Wow.
amazing.
It is amazing. Wow. So I didn't realize that's awesome that you started on the Nirvana, because I know you have an incredible, you just like in the last week, it gave us an incredible update. Actually, it wasn't this weekend, last weekend. You had just started on the patches, and then you moved your patches onto your hip because you had hip replacement on one hip and you're hoping not to have to do hip replacement on the other. Do you want to share that story also?
Yeah. Yes. I kind of move my it depends on my mood of where I move the patches. Today I actually put them where they're supposed to be. But I tried the new thing with the ice wave because I'm still having some like bone pain in my left hip.
Mhm.
But I have been rehabbing my left hip after a fall, and literally I'm waiting for a new bed to come in. I moved into a new place, and so I'm sleeping on a little camper cot that's real low to the ground with a mattress topper on top of that. It's very comfortable, but it means I have to really squat and come up from a low position. And anybody that has hip issues knows that's really hard. And I am doing that with ease now, with ease. It's slow, but it's with ease. And I do not have a limp anymore on my left, from my left
No
side.
more limping. Wow.
No more limping. There's still pain, but I'm barely getting ready to be just on 1 month. So this was an accident on July 17th. And I had been taking collagen supplements, and that had been helping, but not until November 17th is when I started patches. And literally each day I wake up with more flexibility. I'm pretty much banking on my pain being gone on that left side. I know I'm not going to have my left hip replaced. I know I'm not going to have that.
Wow. So yeah, I remember you saying that you had a dramatic drop in your pain level and much more flexibility.
Yes, that's amazing. I don't really care how I look. I know all the youth benefits and the reverse aging. I don't really care. I just want to be able to move. Really, I want to be able to move because I'm watching my aging parents and I can see how stiff they are, but they're in their 90s. And I'm not 60 yet. I'll be 60 soon, but I'm not 60 yet. And I'm planning on being able to move with ease. That's really all I care. And it's already happening. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Then add the elevated mood on top of that. Whoa. For someone that has struggled with depression in the past.
Wow. So
that's a big deal. I mean, it's a miracle.
So, and less than 30 days, because you started November 17th and today's just the 11th. So it's 3 weeks in.
I know. I've got some before and after pictures of some before pictures that I took the day I started of my body, just in a profile of my body, and then some up close on my face. Mm-hmm. I'll be glad to do before and after, like say a few months down the road, because also, so I'm pretty much on all the patches except about, I don't know. After I started the patches, then I decided I'm going to go ahead and get Nirvana, Ice Wave, and Energy Enhancer. And I got those last week. And those, the cool thing about those is they're fast acting, really fast acting. I mean, I know X39 is, mm-hmm. but also these really are too. It's really amazing. And you told me how to correctly apply the ice wave, and I did that today.
Awesome.
And I did it at the tan on first,
Mhm.
and then I did the white at the 12 o'clock spot
And
right
that-
above.
you notice
Right
a significant difference?
Yeah. Yes. I noticed because I wasn't thinking about my pain. Like I put them on, then I forget to go, oh, the pain's gone. No, I keep forgetting to go back, but I know that's because the pain's gone. You know, not gone, but
Significantly
minimized.
reduced, yeah.
Yes. And for me, it's all about getting up and down. That's why I'm monitoring myself with the squats. So I'm not using weights or anything, and I'm doing it real slow, but
Mhm.
I'm trying to see if I can eventually get down really low in that little squatting position where
Yeah.
your bottom's close to the floor.
Floor, yes.
That's my goal. When I can do that, there will be a photo of that. I wish I did before and after, but I didn't. But the before and after, I'm hoping to show on my weight, because I have some belly. I have a lot of, I look like an apple shaped, and a lot of my weight is in my abdomen, and would like for that to reduce. You know, not trying to spot reduce, but that's not a great place to have extra weight. So
Well, and you're aware that when you wear energy enhancer boosts your energy, but you end up spending 300 to 600 calories a day just by wearing that patch.
I mean, the fact that I'm trying to really pay attention as a mental health professional, I'm trying not to emotional eat, and trying not to eat out of boredom, angry, or tiredness. Those are the three biggies for me: boredom, angry, or being tired, and emotional eating. And like I forget to eat, and that, which is like crazy. So, I mean, I'm mentally being satisfied from within due to the activation of my own body being able to heal itself.
Wow. Now, this is huge. And I just want to let the viewers know, Theresa, again, she started November 17th. Theresa is also an RN who is also a therapist, and she basically deals with people who are in crisis at a really high level, really emergent level. So you have a very stressful, physically taxing job. So for you to be able to see the effects, feel the effects in your body so quickly, you know, you've had to have, again, it's such a rigorous job. It's amazing to me that with Nirvana and also the issues with your hip, that's like incredible. So is there anything that you want to speak of? Because from coming from a nursing background, I think that people oftentimes want to hear what nurses think, what doctors think, what other holistic care practitioners think.
It's just so as I, over a little over a month ago, I saw your photo of the lady that's 63
Kathy
and her chest, and had a long time ago when I was a floor nurse working in post-op situations, post-op recovery from surgery. I worked with somebody that had similar issues due to breast implants. So it's, and I saw the before after with her. And like I said, I wasn't, and as I'm aging, like I'll be 60 in March. And as I'm aging, I'm not really, the looks thing is great, but I'm not really, I just want to be able to move. And I remember taking care of this lady that had the breast implant complications. And to see that picture, it automatically, I had to reach out to you. And then before I could talk to you, it's the mechanics and the science behind
it's incredible.
using a patch to reflect your own infrared heat back to your body to activate these cells that you're supposed to already have. That's phenomenal. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, and infrared stuff is everywhere now. I went to a spa about 2 months ago and they had the infrared sauna. And I remember how healing that was, but it also exhausted me, because it makes you tired, but it didn't replenish me like these do. Like, I'm tired right now only because there was this crisis today, but that's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
I'm tired, but I'll sleep really well because I have a new source of internal healing to tap into with the stem cells.
Yeah.
So I kind of integrate mind, body, and spirit there for myself.
Yeah.
But that's, as a therapist, I'm the social worker type therapist, and I don't work as a nurse now. I work strictly as a therapist. And that's when I'm always telling my clients, so if you can build a sustainable, if you can go within and replenish and learn how to activate your own ability to heal, you will have a sustainable resource. Well, look, that's what the stem cell patches do. Stem cell activation patches do. And I don't have my camera on because
it's okay.
I was taking a bath while you're in a eucalyptus bath and listening to you, because I like to hear how you describe the lattice work made of amino acids, salts, and sugars to formulate a crystal lattice work to provide that reflection of the infrared light. I'm looking for the lingo.
Yeah,
because
you said it perfectly, because it's mirroring. That lattice work is mimicking a diamond crystal. And so that when you shine the light on a diamond crystal, you have all the spectrum of the rainbow. And so the same thing is, you said it exactly right. And, it's funny because we're talking, you're off of camera right now, but to think that I had to convince Kathy McCarthy to get on that video, because she's a friend of mine. She lives in Nevada, and she would not take pictures full body. She would only do pictures of like her chest and her neck from here down, which is what you saw. And it's like, oh, but I don't like to go on camera, and I don't like to go on, video. And I'm like, I go, Kathy, people need to see, first of all, you're beautiful. And when you see her in the video, it's like, to think that she didn't want to go on camera. She's gorgeous. She looks, she's 35, no more than 40 years old. She's 63. And whatever wrinkles she had, they're all gone now, because her skin, it's like, and like, oh my gosh, to think that she didn't want to get on camera. It's like, well, but I told her, I go, some people are going to look at that, and, the people who know me, they know I'm not going to put a lie up there. People who don't know me might go, Photoshop, that's Photoshop. And I said, I want people to see the video of you, because they're going to go, oh, wait a minute, that can't be Photoshop. That's a live Zoom. They're going to see that that's the real thing. And I'm so glad that she did. And she was great. She forgot about the camera, and it was just a conversation like this. And then the bonus was, because people see that and they think, whoa, that's great rejuvenation. But her bigger story was the 33 years that she suffered with autoimmune disorder from the 3 breast implants.
Exactly.
The mayhem that her poor body went through. And then, as if that weren't enough, then I had no idea about her cat, Sam. When she mentioned about her cat, Sam, who was 18 years old and about to die, and how she put the used stem, because I didn't know about that. That I found out just like when you all did, when you watched that video. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I go, is the cat anywhere around? It would be awesome to bring him on camera. She just reached down, and the cat did not look like an 18-year-old cat. It looked like a young cat. She goes, his fur, now it's been, 7 months, or let's see, when I did her her recording, it was October. So January, February, March, April, May. Actually, so it was 10 months. Because in January, it'll be a year that she's been on the patches. So now she's holding up Sam. And now Sam, the coat of that cat has been rejuvenated to its original state. And now it's running around and jumping around. She said, like a young cat. I said, your cat, it'll be interesting to see if it lasts another year, 5 years. Somebody told me that their cat lasted 27 years.
Oh my God.
Because they put energy enhancer on their cat and X39. I'm like, 10, 20s. I didn't think it was humanly possible. I thought 18 was old. Their cat, 27 years.
And that's like a family member. A cat, cats are like family members. And the emotional support they give people, their owners.
Yeah.
That's like a family member.
Well, that's why she couldn't bring herself to take the cat, because the cat people in January kept on telling her friends, they kept on coming over and seeing her. They're like, you got to put that cat down. The cat can't even walk. It's in misery. It's in pain. And she didn't have the heart to put it down. And so she just put under the collar, she put an X39 under the collar. And just with that one patch, the cat's been completely rejuvenated. So I'm very curious in the years moving ahead to see how long Sam's going to last. At the very least, he's not been in pain this past year, which he was in pain before, and now he isn't. So that's very exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. So yeah, so it's bringing joy to her and to her husband and to her cat, obviously. So if we're gonna wrap it up, it's 7:49. It's been about 49 minutes into the broadcast. Robin, if you want to reach out and you want to have a private one-on-one, if you have any further questions, we're here to answer whatever questions you might have. And if someone is watching this video that somebody referred them to, just get back to the person who referred you to this video. They'll make sure to take excellent care of you. Not everyone knows everything there is to know about the patches, but one thing they do know is they know and they have experienced an effect in their body, and evidence is the best. It's the loudest voice. And at the very least, they can say, hey, listen, I finally found something that works for me. And I don't know what one patch does from the other, but I do know that I'm on the Fantastic 5 and these are working for me. Let me connect you with, we have 710 doctors and holistic care practitioners. We'll be connected to myself, to Theresa, to any one of the, Dr. Stacy, Dr. Normala, Dr. Mel. We'll do a one-on-one Zoom with you where based on your particular needs, we'll figure out, okay, you need the Fantastic 5 and you need these other patches too. Or maybe you're just fine with the Fantastic 5. It all depends because it's like a thumbprint. Everybody's different. All right. Thank you, Theresa. Thank you for joining. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Happy holidays. Thank you, my friends and gents, for being on here from the bottom of my heart. Ciao.
Thank you, Lillian. You're a lifesaver.
You're a lifesaver too. I love you, Theresa.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.